I'm going home. Hey, this is Steven over at the Cabin Armory and Training Center, and today we're taking a look at the Tavor SAR defensive rifle. It was designed in Israel by IMI, or Israel Military Industries, from 1995 to 2003. It weighs in at 7.2 pounds and operates on a long stroke piston system very similar to the AK. They come chambered in 5.56, 9x19, and 5.45. There is a last round hold open. It uses PMags or AR-15 mags, and it has an ambidextrous selector. This rifle was loaned to us by James. God bless his heart. However, that means when he got this rifle, the first thing he did was go shoot it. Upon arriving in the woods, he realized he forgot targets, and so ingeniously thought, hey, targets are paper, and this cardboard box is paper. That means this box is a target. And he promptly shot it until there wasn't anything left. But he tells us this cardboard box was pretty nice, as it was foam lined and came with cleaning brushes and a cleaning rod, and told me about weird sheets of targets that had scribbles on them, which I could only assume was the user manual and other standard literature when buying a new gun. The Tavor SAR is very easy to disassemble. In this rear section here, there's a hinge at the bottom and a pin at the top. You can either use a pen or a punch, or in this case we're even just using a chamber flag, to go ahead and get that pin started. Once you have it started, you can flip it over, and you can easily just grab it and pull it out. As you can see, the butt pad has already started to come out, so go ahead and hinge that down, and the bolt will just come right out from the rear. Now that we have the bolt out, we can begin disassembling this. The first thing we have to do is take this guide rod and push it back until it clicks out of the back plate there. Then grab that back plate and slide it out. The locking pin here will then just drop right out to the bottom, and after that the bolt rides forward and the firing pin and firing pin spring will come out the back. That's as far as the bolt comes down for field stripping. To remove the trigger housing from this rifle, you have to push through these two pins. Once again, get them started with a pen or something, and once you have them started, they'll pull out and lock to the side. And now we can get to this. Now this is the bolt release. In order to get to the trigger group, we have to pull this up all the way, and the trigger pack will pull right up and out. After this, push down on the bolt lock until you hear that snap, and that is the hold open coming out of its channel. So to begin reassembling this rifle, we'll begin in the bolt. The first thing we'll do is reacquaint the bolt and the firing pin by placing the firing pin in its channel, and that first little lip will rest inside of the bolt with the flat section pointing up. The bolt itself will line the firing pin up and the firing pin chamber and slide the bolt rearward. Now, with those two in place, the locking pin can go right back in. Spin it a little bit until you get the right orientation, denoted by the flat end on this section. In which case we can push this rod, guide rod, back into the back plate and push the whole assembly forward. The bolt for the Tavor is now fully put back together and is ready to go back into the rifle once we have the fire control group and bolt release also in place. Alright, so to reassemble the trigger control, first we have to put in the bolt hold open. So this is a little tricky. This is spring loaded and it has to seat into a very specific channel. So the first thing we're going to do is set it down into the rifle and fish around for a second. Alrighty, you will know when it's in the channel because you can hold open this tab and nothing's going to fly out at you. So make sure the pins are fully out, as they will get in the way of the trigger control group. And just like when we took it out, putting it in is a matter of dropping it. So this bottom pin, the pin farthest from the front, is the first one that's going to go together. Alrighty, so I had a little bit of trouble with this second pin here, so I went ahead and jump cutted forward. Well, Jason did. I didn't do anything but mess up. This front pin, with it open, we can now let this tab fall back, and that pin should ride right back in the spot. The snapping is how you know it's locking in place. The butt pad will now hinge open. Make sure this pin hasn't fallen down at all, because that'll make your life hard. And the bolt will just ride right back inside. Butt pad can then be closed, and that pin can be pushed through, locking all of that goodness in place. Go ahead and give it a function check. On fire. Alright, and that's how you know you put it back together right, because nothing else told you you did so. So once again, thank you James for letting us use this rifle to make a video on it. Maybe next time you'll do it yourself, but this time I did it. Everyone else, have a good day and tune in next week for the podcast where we'll be going over what we think about this rifle a little bit more, as well as a few other subjects that I am not entirely sure of at this time. Thank you.